Now back to high school sports talk on ESPN Radio 94.1, presented by VirginiaPreps.com. Here's Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
No Coach Young today. He is resting up from knee surgery. Wish him all the best in his recovery. Hope to have him back next week. Matt Hatfield here with you on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com on ESPN Radio 94.1. And joined by a special guest now on the show. He is the new head football coach of the Lakeland Cavaliers out in Suffolk. Used to be the defensive mastermind for the Oscar Smith Tigers, helped them make multiple state championship games. And he was a player there, too. We say good morning and congrats on his new position to Coach Joe Jones here on ESPN Radio 94.1. Coach, congrats. How the first few days gone for you as a head football coach?
Good morning, man. How you doing, boss?
Doing well.
Appreciate that. Everything's been going pretty much like I expected it, man. We met the kids on Thursday, and we got and set some ground rules and some expectations, and we starting up on Monday, ready to go.
Well, we'll dive into some more serious topics at hand here in a moment, but one of our fans is already clamoring for a Lakeland Ocean Lakes game so we can get Joe Jones versus Joe Jones. Can we make that happen?
Yeah, I love Coach Jones, man. He was one of the first guys to send me a text when I got the job. Man.
Oh, nice.
I love that guy.
Good deal. We know Joe Jones will win the game, that's for sure, if Joe Jones plays Joe Jones. So maybe a scrimmage
definitely.
or something here in the offseason. Now, on a serious note, let's go through your background a little bit. I just teased that you people know you formerly as an Oscar Smith assistant, but you were quite a player at the high school level and in college, too. Fill some of the folks unfamiliar with you on your playing days.
Yeah, I actually started at Great Bridge. My first head coach was Noble Palmer. Love that guy, great guy. I transferred to Oscar Smith. Played under Coach Morgan, and I believe it was my junior year was the first year that we went undefeated in the district. And from that point forward, man, it was a roller coaster ride, and you know we reached some high heights, and so I mean as a player at the time, some really low lows, losing to Lansdowne, Percy Harvin, Dane McDaniel, and those guys in back-to-back years in the region championship games. But it was good times, man. Good times at Oscar Smith.
Yeah, the way it is now, you might have won state championships if you guys in Lansdowne were in different divisions back then, because those were some hellacious battles with Lansdowne, with Percy Harvin and Devion Simmons, Damon McDaniel, and that crew. So you were in that game, the infamous game, if I'm not mistaken, it was in 2005, was it, at Hickory High, or 2004 at Hickory High School, 40-39 against them, right?
Yep, 2004 Hickory High School. Yep, I was there.
I hear this all the time from players, and you've now been a part as a coaching staff. You've seen championships and helped the program on both sides. Do the players and coaches remember the tough losses more than the gritty wins? What do you think?
Because they sting more. I mean, as a player and a coach, just learning talking to some of the guys that I've talked to and learning under some of the coaches and just going through it myself, you get to a point where you win and it's a quick turnover because you got to get the next win. When you lose, sometimes you tend to have to go back a little bit more and try to self-evaluate and you know go get back to the drawing board a little bit more. So yeah, they definitely have a tendency to stand out.
Talking with Joe Jones, the new head football coach of the Lakeland Cavaliers, our guest here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com on ESPN Radio 94.1, a former standout for the Oscar Smith Tigers in Chesapeake, where he also was an assistant coach the past several years. Now, Joe, also, when you were done playing at Oscar Smith, great career, many accolades, you set multiple tackle records. You went on to play college football. Tell people about that.
I did. Yep, I went to Virginia State University, Hale State, Big Blue. Head coach Andrew Faison is now with Norfolk State. I went in there my freshman year, and the guys welcomed me. It was hard, a little adjustment period. And I try to tell the kids all the time it's a big jump when you get to college, especially. The biggest jump that I noticed was in the trenches. Those big offensive linemen, they come in and they hungry every game. And that was the biggest adjustment for me, just, learning how to shed blocks and things of that nature when I got to college. But yeah, it was a great experience. I ended up having surgery on my shoulder after my freshman year. And the doctor said, I can almost guarantee you playing backer, it's going to happen again. at that point, it kind of turned into a business decision for me. I called Coach Morgan crying. He said, "Hey, man, I understand, but you can't get away from the game. Come start coaching." So at the age of 19, I transferred back to Norfolk State, came back home, and I started coaching.
Wow, how about that? And you made some pretty nice plays as a freshman. Were you all CAA, I think, as a freshman at Virginia State?
Yeah. I got the opportunity to play. I actually, during the summertime, I had to come back home for a week and a half during training camp to get my wisdom teeth pulled. Went back, worked my way back, and still was able to make the trip for the Labor Day Classic Norfolk State that year. So I put in work and I learned a lot from the older guys, and I earned a starting spot. And we didn't finish too well, but I feel like I learned a lot, and I played a lot of good ball with a lot of good guys.
We'll get back to your current situation here in a second with Joe Jones here on ESPN Radio 94.1, the new football coach at Lakeland. But speak on that a little bit, because so many kids now that are, we see it in this social media age, they're getting this offer, and the attention is so different from probably when you played a decade, or a little more than a decade ago, to go somewhere like you did and play right away as opposed to going somewhere where you have to sit and ride the bench. How crucial is that, do you think, for someone to consider?
It's very crucial, because I think a lot of times kids get caught up, and there's nothing wrong with it, but the kids get caught up in the D1, or they get caught up in certain schools. And, what I told my players at Oscar Smith, and what I continue to tell my players at Lakeland, is you have to go not only where you're wanted, but you have to go where it's a good fit for you. Every situation is not the right situation for everybody. So, I mean, just being cognizant of your surroundings and what's going on, and especially what you're looking for from a college experience. I think that plays a big part in, and it should play a big part in your college decision.
Now, as you transition from playing to coaching, you got a chance to help tutor your younger brother, Perry Jones, who's gone down as one of the best linebackers in our area and state, and, of course, at Oscar Smith High School, helping the Tigers capture that first state championship in 2008. And he was told he was too small, he's too little, he can't get it done. He went on to play at UVA. How proud were you to watch his accomplishments and have a role in that?
Incredibly proud, man. I think he probably heard that from me the most. I think I rode him the most, not only because he was my younger brother, but because I knew he was special. He could do things at a young age, and that you don't see people do on a day-to-day basis. And he had the toughest work ethic I've ever seen from anybody. And it was I felt like it was my job to make sure, being not only his older brother but his position coach on offense and defense. It was my job to make sure that he stayed humble, he kept working, he kept his head down, and he never relented in his pursuit of what he was trying to attain.
Now, be honest with us. Were you a little annoyed when he broke your tackle records?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I mean, let's back up. Okay. I was not annoyed.
Okay.
It was more so of me. It was a little gratifying for me, because I know the work that I put in with him. Not only on the practice field, but in the summer times, in my grandma's backyard, at the parks in Crestwood, when we would pick up empty bottles and use them as cones and start running our own cone drills out there. It was seeing him be able to do that was great for me. And even further than that, when I got to see my youngest brother, do the things that he was able to do, and again, go on to win a state championship. I wasn't his position coach, but, just seeing the things that he was able to do, it was great for me.
And that was, is that Zach Jones, your youngest brother?
Yep.
How about that? We're talking with Joe Jones, the new head football coach of Lakeland Cavaliers, with us here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com on ESPN Radio 94.1, as the Cavaliers get ready for that 2019 campaign. It's coming up in just a few months. What are your brothers up to these days? Someone had told me Perry was coaching a little while back. I'm not sure what he's up to now. Could he maybe join you on your coaching staff one day?
He's actually still coaching. He's up at Glen Island in the Richmond area. Yeah, he's up there. Now, I've tried to get him for the past 3 or 4 years. He's happy up there. Him and his wife and my niece, they're happy, and and they're living their life up in Richmond. So he's doing that, and he's also doing a little bit of personal training, sports-specific training, Perry Jones performance, and he's doing well, so he's happy.
That's great to hear. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't do it because my cohort, Coach Young, is not here, but he wants me to ask you, since this guy's not listening, Rich Morgan, probably down in Georgia working hard. Give us your best Rich Morgan story that you can tell on the air.
Oh, man, where to start? I can remember Coach Morgan ordering a cake. I won't say which team it was, but ordering a cake as if he was a fan from the opposing team, thanking us for their first district championship win. And Coach Morgan came and he brought the cake in the locker room and he threw it against the wall and it fell in the trash can. And Mike Weiss ran out of the locker room. He was hot. He ran out of the locker room. And Mike Weiss was in the tiger cage by himself for about 2 or 3 minutes before somebody went and wrangled him up. And I think we might have put a good 50-60 on that team, and it was a good time.
I think I remember that game and some choice words that Coach Morgan had both pre and post game after that one. But he knew how to motivate for sure. And I imagine you've taken a lot of things from him and the late great Bill D as you prepare for this first head coaching gig, right? Definitely, man.
You know, my coaching philosophy on a lot of things that I learned from Coach Morgan. And then, just watching Coach D and how he handled everything, it was with him, it was so rapid. But just seeing his work ethic and seeing his determination and never, even with everything he's going through, chemo, the cancer, everything, he might have missed one practice that entire time. And, just seeing that, and that's the type, we would use that to talk to the kids, like, if you are really committed to the process, if you are really in it for your brothers, if you are really in it for the right reasons, then this is what commitment looks like. No matter what you're going through, no matter what it looks like or what it feels like on the outside, you have a commitment to the man beside you. You have a commitment to the people who are invested in you and the program who you are playing for and all these things, and it was just a great experience, being with both of those gentlemen.
Two of the best to ever coach in our state for sure, and Coach Morgan and Coach D. Well deserved for Coach D going into the Virginia High School League Hall of Fame here.
Definitely.
Now,
well overdue.
For sure. We were all surprised he wasn't already in, to be quite honest with you, because we thought he was already in. Now, you could certainly stay at Oscar Smith. The program is one of the best year in and year out. It's your alma mater. There also were other coaching jobs open throughout this offseason and the last offseason. What drew you to this position at Lakeland?
It kind of came out of nowhere. I was fully invested in being the DC at Oscar Smith. A couple of things transpired, and I was, I always had it in the back of my mind that, I'm ready for this time. I'm ready for my own program. I'm ready to get it going. And much like we tell the kids all the time, you have to continually prepare yourself to be ready for an opportunity when it presents itself to you. So, we tell them, that's why you have to make sure you're on top of your grades. You have to be at the workouts. You have to be a good citizen in the hallways. You have to do these things so when the opportunity comes, you're ready to take advantage of it. And it's no different than myself and my young coaching career, having goals and aspirations of my own and being ready for the opportunity that presented itself to me. And that's really what it was. I had a great conversation with Coach Roundtree, and it was. I felt like it was just the right time to make it happen.
I know it's been a whirlwind here for you. We spoke the other day, and you mentioned about your grandmother's passing, and our thoughts and prayers to you and your family with
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, how have you gotten a chance to sit down and meet with the kids individually or collectively, and what have you told them in the little bit of time you've had here?
Yeah, not individually, but we did have our first interest meeting, school-wide interest meeting with some of the 8th graders also who were able to attend. We did have an interest meeting on Thursday. And, I basically told them from day one, the first thing that we have to do is we have to change the mindset. And I think that's the biggest thing, because football is the easy part. The X's and O's, you can do that all day. Everybody's running the same stuff anyway. Everybody's in 4 wide. Everybody's running flats and outs and and slants and all this stuff. Everybody's doing it, but the mindset and how you approach it and how you go about your business on a day-to-day basis, I think that's what separates the good from the great from the elite. It's just how you go about your business. And from that first meeting, I guarantee you they understand what I mean when I say we have to change the mindset. We have to be about our business, and every day we got to show up. We got to put our head down and work because, I've been an opposing coach against Lakeland for a long time. I know what gets said. I've heard it already since I've taken the job at Lakeland. I know what's being said. I know what's being thought about the program at Lakeland. And we're going to make sure that we're doing the right things to get this program where it should be.
Couple more minutes here with Joe Jones, the new head football coach of the Lakeland Cavaliers, former defensive coordinator at Oscar Smith, who starred for the Tigers, set multiple tackle records, and then played at Virginia State University. Our guest here on ESPN Radio 94.1. It's High School Sports Talk presented by VirginiaPreps.com. And I think you just hit on it, Coach. A lot of things have been said about Lakeland. The good thing is being in Class 3, Region A, you play so many Southeastern District schools that are Class 6 and Class 5s that by playoff time, if these kids buy into the culture and what you're preaching, really it can have you hardened for the postseason, right?
Definitely. I think the gauntlet that is the Southeastern District, it's tough for anybody, even Oscar Smith. It's tough on a week-to-week basis, and you always have to prepare, and you always have to be ready, and you can't take a week off in any measure. But I think, and even speaking to one of my coaching mentors, I consider Brad Bradley at Heritage, the defending 3A state champion. We talk often, and he tells me it's nothing changes. You just work. He's like, Joe, you ready for it? You prepared for it? Put your head down and go to work. And that's what I plan on doing.
I know you're not going to at all sleep on anyone or look past anybody. That first game, from what I'm seeing on the schedule, is Friday, August 30th, at home against Woodrow Wilson. You want to start out 1-0 against a Wilson team that can be sneaky. But have you looked at the schedule and seen my alma mater's Friday, September 13th, game 2?
Yeah, we got Oscar Smith on the schedule somewhere in there. I'm concerned about Woodrow Wilson.
I understand completely. Coach, speak for sure. Last one. What's next for you guys? You going to do some 7-on-7? What's kind of the next plan here as you go into the summer?
Yeah. The kids have the schedule. We got to set up a parent meeting. We're in the weight room and on the track and on the bleachers and on the football field and in the classroom on Monday. And we're going to go Monday through Friday with our off-season schedule. And, I give them a week off during exam week. But right after that, the first week after graduation, we back on it. We'll be in some 7-on-7s. I reached out to one of my guys, Coach Phil Sims, up at John Marshall. He's having a tournament. We may be there. There's a couple other tournaments that I'm filling out. But we're definitely gonna be out, visible, and trying to get this program where we should be.
Well, Coach, we're happy for you on the new position as the head football coach of the Lakeland Cavaliers. Congrats again. We wish you all the best, and we'll keep in touch. All right.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Joe Jones, our guest here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com on ESPN Radio 94.1, the new head football coach of the Lakeland Cavaliers in Suffolk. A lot of energy and a lot of great tradition, but coming from Oscar Smith, learning from some people who played the game, and I think it was overdue for him to get a head coaching job for sure. More to do here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com. You can give us a call at 757-687-9494. We've got CNU's Jordan Mason of the Capital Athletic Conference Tournament champion captains who start at Western Branch around the corner. Don't go anywhere. It's ESPN Radio 94.1.